Welcome to my channel, The Cloud Box, and this is the next video inside the Databricks playlist. And this is the video related to one of the interview questions. So it was asked in one of the interview for the Walmart. So before I start the video, so let's introduce my channel. The channel name is The Cloud Box, and here you can see I upload video related to the Azure data engineering. You will find video on the Databricks. You will find video on the Data Factory. You will find video on the Azure. You will find video on the Python, Pyspark, everything. Okay. So if you are starting your journey with Azure data engineering, so just to hit like, subscribe the channel, so you will get a notification on the new video. Okay. So let's go ahead and quickly start the video. So first, let understand what is the question. Okay. So you see there, this is the Azure portal and this is the storage account. In the storage account, there is folder called all files inside the landing container. You can see there are the different file format. One is the JSON, like two files are in the JSON format. Few are in a Parquet, one is CSV, second one is CSV, and the two one is in the text format. Okay. So the question is, I need to pick this only CSV files. Okay. And I need to load into a different data frame. Let's say if you have read the CSV file, you need to read in a particular data frame which hold the order.csv data, and you have read the product.csv file. This is also going to hold into another data frame. It's not like that we have to read all the files into a single data frame. Okay. So let's go ahead and the Databricks and let's try to implement the solution. Okay. So just understand what is the question. I hope you understood the question. So let's start and let's go ahead and with the solution. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and let's create a data frame and I'm just going to read it. Okay. Let me uh, zoom it little bit so you will understand. Okay. So here I can giving this format CSV, and let's say here I'm just giving the option like header true. Okay. And here I'm giving the header true, and let's say here I'm just going to give the path. Okay. So the path is basically I have created a mount point. If you do not know how to create mount point, I have already uploaded videos on the top of that. If you are connecting Databricks to outside of Databricks workspace, that is Azure S3, so there you need to create a mount point. Okay. So here I'm this container name I need to give, and the folder name was all files, I believe, right? If we go ahead and check, that is the landing inside all files. Okay. So all files, and here what I can give like start.csv. So you see what it's going to happen. Okay. And here let's say I'm just going to display the result. Okay. So let me attach the cluster as well. Okay. So cluster has been assigned. So if everything goes well, so what it's going to pick, it's going to pick all the CSV file, and it's going to read into a single data frame. Okay. Let's see how it is going to run. Okay. So you see it has written, it has shown all the two files into a single data frame. Okay. So we can see there are the 8 records coming. Fine. So just go ahead and quickly check. We go to this order.csv file. You go to edit and we can see 4 records are there. One is for the column. So if you see the preview data, so you see basically 4 records are coming. Fine. Just cancel the 4 record of this and go to product.csv file. You see here also probably it should be 4 record, right? So we have total 8 record count. So it has correctly, I mean, basically shown the data, right? But let's say what is the disadvantage of using this, right? So let's say this is the code which you have implemented. Let's say some of the columns name are changing, right? Some of the schema validation is going to change. So this code is probably not going to work. So ideally you should not implement this kind of solution, because our question was it should it must read into a single data frame rather than combining all the CSV file into a one go. Okay. So how to implement that solution? Okay. How to we can implement that solution? Okay. So let's say, I mean, if you see, right, so this has this was able to read into a different data frame, right? I mean, into a single data frame. But how exactly we can read into a one data frame, and probably we can write also. Okay, so for those, like, maybe this video is will be the long, but yeah, it was asked in one of the Walmart interviews. So let's go ahead and solve this. So what I can do, I can define a variable, something called ADLS path. Okay, so in the ADLS path, what I can give, let's say I need to define the same path, right? MNT landing and then all files, right? So here it's going to read the path. Okay, and then let me take one more variable. So this variable is what's going to give, I'll quickly tell you. So there is something called dbutils.fs.ls. So what it's going to give, it's going to list down all the files which are present in this particular folder. So dbutils.fs.ls, it is basically list down, it is going to list down all the files which is present in this. Okay, fine. So as far we are good, right? So let me go ahead and take one more variable. So this variable is what's going to I mean do, this is going to store the all the CSV files. Okay, all the, for that we need to use the list comprehension inside the loop. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me take a variable called file dot path. So path is basically the predefined the method. Okay, so what it's going to give, from that ls, it's going to give the path. Okay, for file in all files. Okay, in all files. Okay, if file dot path. Okay, if file dot path dot ends with. Okay, so the ends with is a inbuilt function which is going to check like whether it's ending with that particular character or not. Okay, so here what it's going to give, it's going to take a variable that is file, and it iterating in all files which we have stored the from the ADLS path, and it's going to iterate, and it's going to check whether this ADLS dot path ending with dot CSV. Okay, if it is ending, fine. So before that, I mean, what we can do, we can take a data frames kind of the variable, which is going to store a empty dictionary. Okay, it's going to store an empty dictionary. I'll tell you the reason why we are taking a dictionary, because we need to store that the file name inside the dictionary in a key manner. Okay, fine. Let me do one thing. If you want, I can write like what this code doing for that purpose, and also I'll upload into the one of the GitHub file. Okay, now what I can do, let me iterate through the each CSV file path and load each into a separate data frame. So for that, what I can do, let me add basically a headline loop over each CSV file path load load each into a separate data frame. So I have just added a headline so you would be able to understand what this block is doing for. Okay, so let me take one more loop, that is the for file path. Okay, so I mean any name you can give, but I'm just taking a name which is would be basically irrelevant. Okay, in CSV files. Why CSV files? Because we have stored all the CSV file into that. Okay, fine. Now what I can do, so this is the some code which you need to understand. Okay, so I have taken basically I have stored into this variable that from CSV file. If you see, right, it's going to take entire files, let's say something like that, it's going to take, right, all files, then order dot CSV, something like that, it's going to store into that, right? Fine. Understood, right? So what I need to give, I need to extract only the file name, that is I need to extract only the order. Okay, I need to only extract the order. So what I can give, for that, what I can, let me add one more statement. Extract the file name, extract the file name, let's say without extension. Okay, without extension, to use as a dictionary item. Okay, sorry, I mean key, dictionary key. Understood? So here I need to add the actual code. So let's say I'm going to take a variable, something called file name. Inside the file name, what I'm going to give, I'm going to give the file path. Okay, file path, and that file path I'm going to split on basis of that forward slash. You can see this on the basis of this, right? Because I need to split it based on this, the forward slash, and then I need to taking the last item, that is -1, it's going to give you the last item. So let's say if I have something called, let's say, in that way I'll show you, that is the all files. And here if I give something like that, ordered dot csv, so this particular block of code, it's going to split everything based on that, and it's going to give you the last item. So the last item is that order.csv. Okay, you understand? Fine. Let me go ahead with the next part. Now I need that without csv file. Okay, so I have received that order.csv. Then what I can do, I can replace that. What I can do, I can do the replace. I can do the replace. Okay, of what? Dot csv with empty character. Understood? Okay, fine. So now after what I can do now, right? So I need to read now, right? I have stored that everything in, fine, but I need to read it, right? So for the reading, we'll put our spark.read.syntax, right? The start.read.csv. Here directly I'm giving, and here I'll pass the here while I'm going to pass the file path, because this is going to hold the all the files which having a CSV data, right? And then maybe probably I'll use header. Okay, header is equal to true, something like that I'll use. Let's say people use infer schema, but will not use it as of now. Okay, now what? uh, if you want, I can add the basically the headline here also. So read something, each CSV file into a separate data frame. Understood? So here it's going to read into a separate data frame, right? And now I need to store it also, right? It got read, but I need to store also, right? So what I can do, I can store the data frame, something like that. I can store the data frame in the dictionary, in the, maybe in the dictionary, using the file name as a key. Okay, so you understood, right? We are storing into a dictionary, and each data frame is going to assign into a one key inside a dictionary. Okay, so we have created the data frames, and I'm going to assign a value. So what is the value? It's a file name, right? And it is going to equal of data frame, right? So each data frame, it's going to read, and it's going to assign into a one key value, basically key into a dictionary, right? And if you want to check, so what I can do, I can do the display, and then here I can pass the df. Okay, so let's understand what we did. We have created a path. Okay, so in the path we have taken a dbutils.fs.ls, and it's going to list down the all the path. Fine. And here let me add a statement, filter out CSV file, something like that. Okay, filter out CSV files. Okay, So it's going to take a variable, then it's going to list comprehension inside a loop for path file in all files. If file dot path, it's not ADLS path, it's basically file dot path. The path is basically inbuilt method dot ends with then dot csv, and we can close the parenthesis, and we are taking empty dictionary. That is fine. Then after that, it's going to take a loop inside a loop, taking a variable inside a csv files. Then it's file name is equal to file path dot split. It is going to split it. Maybe change that, sometime it's give you the problem, but yeah, it's fine. And it's going to access the last value and is going to replace that csv with empty character. Then it's going to read it, right? And it's going to read header is equal to true, and then it's going to store into a dictionary item. And let's go ahead and run that. Let's see how it goes. So it must read the two CSV file. We have order.csv and we have product.csv. Earlier we saw it was reading into a single data frame. Let's see how it reading into a different data frame. Okay. So till now we have maybe able to solve the half of the problem. We can see one is the region, country, item. Probably this one is the different table, and this is the product one, and this is the order one. If you want to verify, just go ahead and check the order table, and just open, you do the edit. You can see, just go to the preview. You can see the region, country, item coming in this file, and if you go to the product, probably you can see this is coming into a product ID or something like that. Okay, so till now we are able to solve the half of the problem. Understand, right? So now what is the our objective? Finally we have able to read those individual data frame only which hold csv data into a separate data frame. Now I have to write in the same way. Okay, so for the writing, I need to take one more loop. Okay, for the writing, what I can take exit from that particular loop, and I need to take one more loop. So let's say take one more loop, and let's give the same variable name, that is the file name. Okay, that is the file name. And then df is why, because it's going to hold the data frame for which we have read already. Okay, data frames, right? Dot item. So that items is basically it's going to take the item from that. Okay, fine, we have taken a loop, right? Now we have to write dot format, and it should be csv, right? If we are reading the csv, it should be csv. Fine, you can do the parameterization also, that is fine. Dot option, uh I guess I can give the mode something like that. So mode is should be override, right? So let's say um, mode is override, right? And then what you can do, let's say dot save, and here I can do like I can pass the different I mean, let's say for folder. So let's say inside a landing I can pass like all files output, something like that, right? All files output. And but here what I need to add the file name also, right? I need to add the file name. So probably it should work, but yeah, maybe it can give you error, but yeah, let's go ahead and try that. Let me go to the next line. So I guess mode is overwrite is correct. Yeah, let me go ahead and check. So that is the one thing, right? So if let me add the statement. So we can have a check on that. So uh, look for iterating each dict item. Okay, and now here um, writing into a separate data frame. Okay, quickly go ahead and check like whether all file output is present or not. So it should be not the case. So go to landing and you can see there is no folder called all files output. Let me go ahead and run that, and before that let me do the comment of that. So fine, let me go ahead and run that. It should work. If not, then we'll see why it is not working. Okay, so now I guess overwrite. Okay, fine. Here, right? We have written the wrong syntax. The mode is will be here, something like that. Mode is override, and let me add the option. Option here, what I can give like header is equal to true. Okay, now run. Let's see. Dot save. Go ahead and run that. Probably now it should work. I hope you understand. We have read all the only CSV file into a separate data frame, and then we are writing again into a different location altogether. Okay. Meanwhile, it's running. Go ahead and check whether our folder got created or not. We can see all files output got created, and it's also created something called order. And in the order, it's going to write a file which is of order data. If you just open not that, if you just open that, we can see it has successfully written the file of order. Let's go ahead and landing output, and let's go to check the product. Here you can see it's have checked that if I had written that the order file. So now I guess it is working fine, but you can see, right, it has not written the data like order.csv or the product.csv, because through PySpark by default we cannot do that. So there is a workaround how you can change the part file name. So you can check. I have already completed one video like how to rename the part file in the customize. So how to remove the part file name and save output to a single file with the customize name. Okay, so go ahead and check that video. Okay, so far we are good, I believe. And one last thing, if you want like I want to check like the dictionary item name. So what you can do, you can add one print statement. Okay, and in the print statement you can like data frame dot keys, something like that you can give, and you can see. So what it's going to give you, it's going to give you like what all the file name it extracted, and it's going to print into a data frame keys. Okay, so because of that reason I added the mode dot override. If it is not added, so I mean it will not work. Okay, so this was the question was asked in one of the Wallmart interview, and it was like not easy question at the same time. Okay, so I'll be completing one more scenario based question. I'll be going to cover the more question based on the PySpark which was asked in the interview. So please stay tuned on my channel. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe, and if you can probably share with this video with one of your friends, colleagues who have started journey in data engineering and just want to learn, and they want to prepare for interview, just go ahead and watch me all the videos. It is really helpful. Okay, so just waiting to complete this, and we can see this the data frame keys and all. Okay, so let me cover, like, I have completed video like how to read and write to SQL Server. You can check out this video. How to add any value dynamically to all the columns in the PySpark. Let's say we have a column and we want to add the underscore after the column, each name, and something like that. We have a 10,000, 1,000, 100 of column. If we want to rename the column at a one go, how we can do that? We can, like, how to rename a file which is creating by by the Spark as a part file, how you can rename using the custom file name, something like that. What is the flatten and explode? You can check out that. This is really important. How to install the Spark by Spark in Windows local if you do not want to use the community version. If you do not have access to cloud or something, then you can do that. How to become Azure data engineer, the complete roadmap I have uploaded here. You can see the video on the data factory. Multiple videos I have uploaded, even though the basic one, what is a filter transformation, rename column, all those things you will find. It's really, really basically the great combination of all the PySpark and data factory stuff here. Just go ahead, guys, and please do subscribe. So it is really helpful for you. Thank you so much, and let's go ahead and check. You can see that it's given the order and the product. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Thanks a lot.